All right, so we have these Dokkan Thank You Celebration cards. Card number 6. As you can see, I have 3 of those cards. That is because they automatically give you one through login, and then you can get 2 more by doing some missions. But here's my top 5 units that I think you should consider when you are thinking about what you want to get with these cards. The first unit I think you should consider is this Extreme AGL Golden Frieza right here after his EZA, and I would like to make a note about that. These considerations, or the reason why these are my top 5 units that I think you should consider choosing, is based on their EZA. So this Golden Frieza is a good one after EZA, just for the sole fact that he reduces damage received by 90% when HP is 40% or more, which is really, really good. And that's actually a great extreme Super Battle Road unit, It's going to be a pretty good defensive unit for you, somebody to absorb some damage or some attacks if you need them to. And this can work in tandem with, other units that might heal you too, if you're able to, have a little bit of combination with that, with some extreme units, which a lot of extreme units that have the link skill metamorphosis, and also, maybe he's on a team with some Majin Boos or Majin Power type units, which usually have some kind of healing capabilities in their built into their kits or their super attacks. This could work pretty well. So any units that can have damage reduction like this, they're almost timeless. They will always be relevant in something, not necessarily in the most current meta, but they will have use for you in some very niche scenarios, such as Super Battle, Extreme Super Battle, some of those short form content. And then the second unit I think you should take a look at is this Tech Final Form Cooler. He raises attack and defense for 1 turn on his super attack, and he has a medium chance of stunning the enemy. So a pretty good unit for, once again, Super Battle Road or Extreme Super Battle Road, or those short form content where you're actually able to stun the enemy, is where he's going to excel at. And raising attack and defense for 1 turn is an overall, I would say, general good effect. Not great, not bad, but good effect for a super attack effect. On top of that, his passive skill is actually pretty decent after his EZA. A great chance of performing a critical hit when the target enemy is stunned. His super attack has synergy with that, and he has a guaranteed stun right here, once only when there is an enemy whose name includes Goku. And Goku's a pretty common character to go against, so this can be very, very useful. And keep in mind that since this is only my top 5 picks, it doesn't mean that there aren't other options in this pool of characters with this Dokkan thank you ticket that you can't choose. Really, it all comes down to who you have in your box and how much you want to invest in a character, because there are 3 tickets. Maybe you have one of these characters already and you want to invest in their hidden potential system. That's okay too. So it just all depends on what your box is looking like and which characters you have already and which characters you don't have already. And so there's a bunch of variables to consider, since I don't know exactly what your box looks like. So definitely use this video to help you make a decision, but also watch other content creators' videos on what units that they think you should consider as well, because I actually haven't used every single unit enough to know exactly how every single unit will fare in every single type of event. Part of the reason this is my top 5 is because I've actually invested some time in using these units. There's going to be other content creators that have used other units more than maybe these units I've picked. The next unit I think you should consider is this Hellfighter number 17, and really for the sole reason that he is an extreme class character, and the extreme side always needs help. They focus a lot on the super class side of things in Dokkan, so the extreme side kind of falls to the wayside a little bit, and he's going to be on a few teams here that you can help out, like Artificial Life Forms, Target Goku, but he raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes extreme damage to enemy, and a medium chance of stunning the enemy. So any unit that can stun an enemy or has a chance of stunning the enemy is actually pretty decent, especially in the short form content, once again, like Super Battle and Extreme Super Battle Road. So far, that's what we've been kind of focusing on with these first 3 units. And then he has a pretty good support. All allies keep +2 in attack and defense +25%. Definitely very useful in that regard. On top of that, he has a pretty good attack boost when there's another ally whose name includes number 17. So he's going to work pretty well with the Dokkan Fest you know, Android number 17 and Hellfighter 17 that fuses into Super 17. All those units, Hellfighter number 17, Android number 17, Android number 17 Future, Super number 17 are included in this condition. And then the fourth person I think you should consider is this STR Piccolo right here. He is a world tournament killer. He definitely is going to be good in other events, but I would say his kit's more geared towards world tournament. So if you need a unit that actually has a very good kit for world tournament, this guy's something you should definitely pick up. He causes supreme damage to all enemies and has a medium chance of stunning them. And he raises defense for 1 turn, which is pretty decent. On top of that, the highlight of his kit is he performs a critical hit once only and key +6 when facing 2 or more enemies. And you're always facing 2 or more enemies in World Tournament. So at the beginning of every single fight in World Tournament, you're getting a guaranteed critical hit. And I have personally used him in World Tournament, and he's destroying everybody pretty much the first super attack that he does. He's going to be useful in other events too, like Extreme Super Battle Road and Super Battle Road as well. Out of these 5 units, he'd probably be my #1 pick. Well, no, number two, because my #1 pick is actually right here, this Physical Bardock. After his Extreme G Awakening, this guy gets such a big glow up. He greatly raises defense for 1 turn, causes screen damage to enemy, and seals super attack. Sealing super attack isn't so great necessarily, but the fact that he's greatly raising defense for 1 turn is pretty good. In his passive, he gets defense plus 318% at the start of turn, which is insane. And then he's giving all allies key +2 and attack and defense plus 30%. So this guy is a great support unit, and his kit is perfect for it because he has so much defense. He's not going to do a lot of damage for you, and that's something I think you should consider as well when you're looking through these units to pick. Don't be looking at these units as high damage units. A lot of these units, if not all of them in this pool of characters that you have to choose from, are going to have a lot of utility, are going to be pretty good defensively, are going to help you with support like this right here. They're not going to be units that deal a ton of damage, so keep that in mind. This is not a pool of characters that are going to be meta changing for your teams, but they're going to have a lot of ways to support the teams that you create. Out of this pool of units, his kit's one of the most synergistic kits ever. I mean, it just works so well together. Him being that and having the support for all allies is very, very good and can help you a lot on any of your team builds. And on top of that, he's helping some smaller categories like Exploding Rage, Legendary Existence, Crossover. He's helping powerful comeback, storied figures, revenge. There's some up and coming categories and smaller categories that he's definitely helping out. But yeah, let me know what you think about the top 5 picks that I have chosen here, and also let me know what you might be considering choosing with these 3 Dokkan thank you tickets. And I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll catch you on the next video.